with 10 knockouts. Of course, the big story, Nugaev and the layoff. 643 days, a record of... And that is Rustam Nugaev.
Copies? All right, good luck, fellas.
I think Jack Reese used to be
for this fight. He says, I'll go forward and I'll try to knock him out. Maicelo
a few times. I don't know if we're going to see it in the main event, but there's a chance cut over both eyes. Only fooling around, a little trickery there, but he's going to be on the outside. He's more versatile. He's got those wheels. He can use them a little bit, use the ring, get angles, try to keep Nugaev get. Yeah, he's tall, he's long, but he doesn't really use that height. He comes in, looks to get in the trenches.
left hook fit.
More. You know, part of being a fighter is being tough. Part of it is being smart. And again, Nugaev, he'll give up his height. He'll give up those long arms and just look to get inside and work. The problem is, right now, Maicelo long for 10 rounds. That's the question.
Dug into the body with a left hand there.
Catch Nugaev as he comes in like that. The one thing that I noticed with Maicelo, he's not really an inside fighter. Nugaev, even though he's got those long arms, Joe, which sometimes does not really suit people to fight inside, he loves to fight in there, where he is now.
Getting his best work of the first round. But we've seen a sharp Jonathan Maicelo throughout this opening stanza. Now on the inside, an exchange. Little up jab there from Maicelo as Nugaev tries to close ground. Good action here in the first round of our main event. Nugaev and Maicelo take a...
Is that a positive or a negative?
I'll leave that alone.
Yeah, but I mean, not just the underwear, but I mean, having that kind of fame before, really you've earned it as a fighter. I mean, it's good for your, definitely good for your bank account. There's no doubt about that, and I want all fighters to have good bank accounts because of the inherent, you're trying to get there.
It's tough for us to understand because we just see him as a guy that's trying to break through.
Well, I think you're going to see him tonight tested. I mean, he won the first round. He's the faster guy. He's got the quicker legs. He's got the ability to do things on the outside. More options, as I like to say. But Nugaev, he's not going anywhere. You know, he's a guy that's old-fashioned. You got to make me believe is his that is really his mentality. You know, I'm going to come and see how good you are. And I think before the night's over, we're going to get a better idea of how good Maicelo is in different levels, different dimensions. Not just physically and technically, but in the most important dimension, inside, intensely. Is he a fighter? I think that this opponent, Nugaev, will answer that question.
Standing right there in the kitchen. Free swinging, that time a little wide with that left hand.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's very early. I'm a little concerned. If I was the back of Maicelo, I'd be a little concerned. And people are going to say, Teddy, my God, it's 1 minute and 22 seconds into the second round. And you could argue that he won the first round and maybe winning this round so far. And the ocean keeps coming in. That pressure of Nugaev, I just have a sense that Maicelo's feeling it right now. And he's going to feel it more and more as the rounds go by.
And Nugaev standing fearlessly in front, swinging a series of lefts and rights. As Maicelo tries to land that right hand to the body, pops a jab. Nugaev just keeps coming with that pressure.
Yeah, exactly, Joe.
Right hand
and
on the
he's getting to the places he wants to be, even though he's got the long arms. I said it at the beginning. He is an inside fighter, and Maicelo really is not.
Landed a squared up left hook that time.
I just looked into the eyes of Maicelo, and you know what I see? I see a guy that has the look like he's seeing something he's never seen before. He's feeling something he's never felt before.
That's a step-up fight here against Nugaev. Even with the layoff of Nugaev, undoubtedly a step-up in competition compared to what he's been facing.
And to me, when you get into these dimensions, well, this is when you have to be mentally really strong.
This is shaping up to be a really fine-looking main event. Nugaev.
But when you get into the kind of fight that this looks like it's lining up to be, you know, really down and dirty fight where you're going to maybe get some questions asked about yourself that maybe were never asked before. And you're going to have the right answers. When you start to get into that kind of fight, you really need to be mentally in a place where I'm going to overcome no matter what. There's got to be an urgency somewhere in your core to overcome what's coming at you. And to me, that's where I worry a little bit with a guy like Maicelo. We're going to find out. I might be wrong. That has a clothing line, has all the things of success in his home country of Peru already. And does he have to go to that dark place when he maybe gets forced there tonight by Nugaev? Does he have to find a way? Is there an urgency to overcome? Or is there a little bit of a thought, well, I'm okay. I'm protected. I have my clothing line. I have to go to that place.
It's a right hand from Maicelo. Comes with another right hand against the Russian Nugaev.
The straighter punches so far, Maicelo. His punches will get a little round and create a little bit of an opening. Now, if I'm in the corner of Nugaev, I talked about it. We coach here, and look, he says game is hell. But what I see missing, and there's a body shot, and I think that he should be doing more of that. But he should be coming in with that jab. He's not using that jab to stabilize Maicelo on the outside enough, although he's having good connect rates right now.
Good action to finish up this round.
Whose blood is that?
Seeing Kamachian and Suzuki Akabi, Rudy Hernandez, if that name is familiar to you, it should be. He's the brother of the former late world champion, Gennaro Hernandez, who was a terrific world champion, a terrific fighter. Worked with us for years. We miss Gennaro very much.
And as we mentioned, Rudy Hernandez played a big part last week in a fight that you broke down earlier tonight. Mike Alvarado's victory against Brandon Rios.
Well, I see right now that Maicelo is fighting where he doesn't usually find himself having to fight on the inside more. Usually he's gotten his way on the outside. Tonight he's been forced to do a little bit more stuff inside and maybe stay inside longer than he wants to. And again, there's Nugaev, a good job of catching Maicelo pulling out with his hands down. Maicelo, from a technical standpoint, he'll make a lot of mistakes. He'll drop his hands. He'll pull straight back with those hands low. You can catch him because of those reasons.
Just getting out of the way that time. Here's Nugaev, got real estate in front. Maicelo scores with a right hand.
Look, Nugaev makes his mistakes too, Joe. He's a tall guy. He'll get in there and he'll stand straight up. And when he stands straight up tall, there's a lot to catch.
Yeah, he takes.
There's a lot of...
There's a right hand that comes in from Nugaev. And Maicelo comes back with one of his own.
Yeah, it wasn't quite that destructive, but you're right, he did catch him going back.
Good work rate from both guys here.
Yeah, this isn't much of a boxing match right now. This is more like a Pier 6 brawl. I mean, they're just... Maybe they watched the Alvarado-Rios fight. And it's rubbing off on them a little bit. Both guys standing right in front.
Just sit back and enjoy it. What a fun fourth round this is between these two. The thudding right hand, Maicelo firing off sharp shots there.
Watch, his hands down, he's standing in front, gets caught of Maicelo, hands down, pulling straight back. Nugaev with those long arms going with him, making him pay a price.
Look at the CompuBox numbers from that last round as Nugaev threw 101 power punches, landing 39 of them.
I'll tell you where the long arms of Nugaev can mess with Maicelo a little bit and throw him off. When Maicelo pulls back with those hands down, it's a bad habit. It's a habit that needs to be corrected and needs to be corrected in the gym. But when he does it, probably in the past he's been out of range. He's not out of range with Nugaev with those long arms.
Back to the inside they go. Both man landing right hands in that exchange.
I'll tell you what some of the bad news maybe would be for Maicelo, who, although he's shown technical flaws, he's shown terrific heart and an attitude you want to see with a fighter. Not like a spoiled brat. We talked about all his success in Peru, maybe being a little tainted, maybe being a little spoiled, but he hasn't behaved that way so far. He's gotten hit, he's come right back, but to me, he's getting caught more and more, fighting in the geography that suits the Russian Nugaev a little bit better than it suits Maicelo.
Let's show you where this stood coming into this 5th round. Teddy's scorecard through 4. Had it 2 rounds apiece. You, the viewer at home, you can score along on our Facebook page. The live scoring Maicelo 3 rounds to 1 coming in here to this 5th.
You know, I started to say one of the things that you have to be concerned, I think, from my perspective, with Maicelo is Nugaev came into this fight, Joe, with something that should have been a big hindrance. 1 year and 9 months of inactivity. He had not fought. That's a lot of rust, a lot of potential rust. And right there you see a little bit of showmanship by Maicelo and by Nugaev too. But what I'm saying is, boys, the early rounds should have belonged to Maicelo. It would take a few rounds for Nugaev to get going. He's only going to get better after that 1 year and 9 months. If you didn't win those early rounds really big, you might have a problem as he gets his engine going.
Nugaev landed a right hand following Maicelo back moments ago. Action-packed throughout. And it's so entertaining. This main event has been entertaining as we've been highlighting the undefeated Peruvian Jonathan Maicelo in a spirited effort against the sturdy Rustam Nugaev, the 21.
That rust a little bit. And you would figure once he does that, the later rounds are going to be better rounds for him. And if that's true, if that's going to play out that way, Maicelo is going to have a difficult time getting to that finish line. Nugaev reminds me of a tall building. I mean, he stands straight up in front of you, and he gives you a chance to go and smash a lot of windows.
It's a 5'10" lightweight. 5'10" to 5'7" is the height difference here from Nugaev to the shorter Maicelo.
Again, I still think that Nugaev, I'm surprised his corner has not, really to me, there's 2 things I would have concentrated on the fight plan if I'm in the corner of Nugaev. One would have been go to the body, take those legs away from Maicelo, who likes to use those legs, and he's using them a little bit now for defense and to set up offense, to get angles, to get position. But the other thing I'd be doing if I'm in the corner of Nugaev, tell him to use that jab more. You know, there's no better way to stabilize the guy who's on the outside, moving a little bit, boxing, than to use the jab. Right now, Nugaev stabilizing him his own way. Just banging away on the inside, getting Maicelo to lay there more than Maicelo should lay there.
He's had success with the left hand here in the middle of this 6th round. There he goes to the body with the
that
left hand.
body, and it's a telling punch, Joe. It affected Maicelo. You could see it.
And again, Teddy, he goes to that right flank of Maicelo.
Yeah, I've been waiting for Nugaev to go to the body. He's starting to do that now, and it's really paying for him. It's paying off really well for him. See, now's where I'd use the jab if I'm Nugaev. Control that outside, take all hope away from Maicelo. Use that jab and keep him from pot shotting. Keep him from navigating around. See, when there's no jab coming in from there's the jab from Nugaev. Very effective.
Teddy, here's the foolproof punch of the night, brought to you by Just for Men.
Which one was it? There's two. Found it interesting, one of the quotes from Maicelo. You know, he was talking about living in New Jersey. You just talked about it. He says he lives in an apartment, but in concentration camps, you usually don't get allowed to go out and spend time with your wife and son.
He wants to choose his words a little differently here. The action picks up in the midst of round 7. As Maicelo trying to show that
he's hurt,
movement, but he got clipped by that left
Listen,
hand.
I said it from the beginning that I was concerned, probably in the first round I started saying it, for Maicelo in this fight with Nugaev. Just because I didn't know if he could handle the steady onslaught of pressure. It breaks pipes and it breaks people. And I see that pressure from Nugaev starting to break Maicelo a little bit.
Oh, he just went back from that left hand.
And remember, Nugaev not a big puncher, but a relentless.
12 knockouts in 28 professional fights for Nugaev. Showing a spurt here as Nugaev just comes forward.
He's looking for a big shot now, but he's starting to dissipate. He's starting to evaporate a little bit.
Blood dribbling down the bridge of the nose of the unbeaten Peruvian.
You know those. Take a look here. Nothing fancy. Nugaev coming forward. Maicelo going back. We said it early, and again, Maicelo going back with his hands down on a straight line. And Nugaev with those long arms, well, he can reach. And that's where those long arms come in handy. You know, with shorter arms, maybe that.
He's got the upset brewing here, 68-65. You, the viewer at home, you can go to Facebook, click on live scoring and join in. 4 rounds to 3 for Maicelo.
Then has not consistently gone to the body, I don't think, quite enough. I think he really would take a lot more steam out of Maicelo if he would go to the body. Also, the other thing I think is very telling is when Nugaev walks in, he should do it behind the jab again. But if there's a jab coming at Maicelo, well, that neutralizes. Now, most of the landing there is by Nugaev. Actually,
punch destruction.
You know, actually, in all fairness, I'm not saying he would have been able to continue, but we care about saying the truth and saying what we see here, not what's always convenient. But Maicelo was going to try to get up there, but for whatever reason, Jack Reese decided to push him back down and not let him try to get up. You know, maybe it's something Reese saw in his eyes that we can't see. He's in the ring with him. But if we see the replay, we'll see it. He was going to try to get up. Yes, he went down. He showed that kind of. I don't think it would have changed anything, to be honest. I said this from early on in this fight, that I had the distinct feeling from the beginning that it was going to be the kind of fight that Nugaev was just going to evaporate Maicelo like you see a puddle evaporated on a hot summer day.
Sensational knockout punch by Nugaev.
Well, you see right there how it happens. These things happen for a reason. Big looping right hand by Maicelo with his left hand down. Poor technique. Again, left hand down, looping right hand by Maicelo. And Nugaev's in better position to launch the right hand and catch Maicelo before his right hand. Well, our guys didn't let me see the rest of it. I don't know why, but what I wanted to...
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the particulars, one more time for Rustam Nugaev and Jonathan Maicelo. Put on an unbelievable battle for you tonight. This contest comes to a halt at 2 minutes, 3 seconds of the 8th round. Your winner by knockout, Rustam Nugaev.